Coffee Break Spanish, Program 70.
Buenos dias, how you do? We got something for you. A bit of Spanish you can try. It's not hard, now don't you cry. Más cerveza, por favor. Un cafecito, I want more. No haggis here, I hope that's fine. Just a bit of Espanol online. Espanol, you're in control. Just be resilient. One in Spanish is dead brilliant. Just be prepared. Mark and Kara will take you there. Now you're on a roll. Coffee Break Español.
Hola a todos, it's that time of the week again.
We're back with another edition of Coffee Break Spanish, and this time it's lesson number 70.
That's right, the end of Unit 7, and we're dealing with something a little bit tricky today. Indeed, I think I said last week that I think this is one of the scariest things that you can do in a foreign language.
I've been wondering all week about this. What is it?
Well, when you talk to people, I find that it's much easier to understand them when you can see them. You see their lips move and their actions and expressions help you understand the words better. But there's one common situation where you don't see the person you're talking to.
On the phone.
Yes, today we're going to learn to use the phone in Spanish.
Okay, let's get on with the show.
¿Estás lista?
Sí, estoy lista para aprender español con Coffee Break Spanish.
Let's start off with looking at some useful vocabulary for talking about phones. First of all, the word for phone, or telephone itself. El teléfono.
El teléfono.
Now, Cara, what can you tell me about that word based on the pronunciation or stress of that word? El teléfono.
There's an accent on the second E.
Exactly, because what can you tell me about the standard pronunciation or the standard stress on Spanish words? Think of words like cantado, Pedro, esta.
The stress is on the second last vowel?
Exactly, the second last syllable, I suppose. So if there was no accent on teléfono, it would be telefono, but that's wrong. So it's teléfono.
Teléfono.
So your phone number, or my phone number, let's just say the phone number to begin with, el número de teléfono.
El número de teléfono.
Can you tell me anything about the spelling of número?
There's an accent on the U.
Yeah, because otherwise it would be
Numero.
Numero, which is wrong again. So, tu número de teléfono, your phone number. Tu número de teléfono.
Tu número de teléfono.
Okay, now that's obviously your when we're being informal. Tu número de teléfono. But if you want to be formal, then you would say su número de teléfono.
Su número de teléfono.
And my phone number would be?
Mi número de teléfono.
Mi número de teléfono.
Mi número de teléfono.
Okay, to say what is your phone number, you would use the word ¿cuál? ¿Cuál es tu número de teléfono?
¿Cuál es tu número de teléfono?
Okay, or in using the polite form, the usted form, what is your phone number would be?
¿Cuál es su número de teléfono?
¿Cuál es su número de teléfono? Muy bien. Another word that's useful to know when we're talking about phones and we're looking at the vocabulary aspects of this, first of all, is marcar.
Marcar.
Okay, literally to mark, but when we're marking a phone number, we're dialing. Okay, marcar.
Marcar.
I suppose, does one still dial the phone? Do you still dial someone on the phone?
Oh, you dial the number.
You dial a number, even though that you're not actually dialing the number on the phones. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Dial a number is marcar un número.
Marcar un número.
Okay. So let's imagine the situation that you have marcado that número. Okay. Has marcado el número. And what happens? Well, the person on the other end of the phone will say hello. However, in Spanish, you don't say hello on the phone. You say diga.
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 Okay. Or you might say dígame.
Dígame.
If you lift up the phone, then you would say diga or dígame.
Diga. Dígame.
And we're actually sitting here putting our hands to our mouth, to our faces as if we're answering the phone. It probably looks rather silly, but I'm glad this is not a video podcast at the moment. So diga, it literally means say. It comes from the verb decir, and it's the polite command form. So when you say diga, it means say, as in say why you're phoning or say who you are or something like that. And dígame means say to me. So you've got the option there. You might hear diga, you might hear dígame. It doesn't really matter. Both of them kind of mean hello on the phone, even though they literally mean say or say to me. Now, what's the first thing you're likely to say when you phone someone?
It's Cara.
Okay, so you would say it's Cara. I would probably say it's Mark. But the strange thing is that in English we say it is, which kind of means it is Cara who is phoning, yeah?
Yes.
Now, Spanish is much more logical about this because they say soy Cara or soy Mark, which of course means
I am.
yeah. So rather than saying it is Cara or it is Mark, they say I am Cara or I am Mark. So, diga,
Soy Cara.
hola Cara, ¿qué tal estás?
Bien, gracias. ¿Y tú?
Muy bien. Okay, so you would say soy, I am, and then give your name. Soy Señor López.
Soy Señor López.
Yeah, so I am Mr. López, for example. Okay, if you want to ask, is someone there? Okay, you can do this very, very simply in Spanish by using está. So, is Pedro there? ¿Está Pedro?
¿Está Pedro?
Okay, so is Pedro there? ¿Está Pedro? So, Cara, how would you say, it's Cara here, is Marta there?
Soy Cara. ¿Está Marta?
Muy bien. Soy Cara. ¿Está Marta? Okay, and remember raising your voice at the end. ¿Está Marta? Or you might want to say, can I speak to? But remember in Spanish, you don't say, can I speak to someone or to speak to someone. You speak with people in Spanish. So how would you say, can I speak to, or with rather, Marta?
¿Puedo hablar con Marta?
Exactly. Using puedo from poder, to be able to. Can I, or I can, puedo. ¿Puedo hablar con Marta?
¿Puedo hablar con Marta?
Okay, let's think of another situation on the phone. You might be phoning to speak to a particular person, and this might be a more formal phone call, so you might not start with soy Cara or soy Mark or whatever. You might just want to go straight into it and say, can I speak to Mrs. Garcia, for example? ¿Puedo hablar con señora García, por favor?
¿Puedo hablar con señora García, por favor?
And if you were to say something like that, then it's more than likely that the person you're speaking to would say, who's speaking, or who would like to speak to Mrs. Garcia. And there is a Spanish phrase that's used really only in phone situations, and that's de parte de quién.
¿De parte de quién?
Okay, so literally, on behalf of whom shall I say wants to speak to Mrs. Garcia, or something like that. De parte de quién.
¿De parte de quién?
And in that situation, you could say de parte de Mark, soy Mark, soy Señor Pendleton, or whatever. So de parte de, or soy, and so on. When you're phoning people, it's not always the case that whoever you're phoning is there. So how would you say Marta is not there, or Marta's not here?
Marta no está aquí.
Yeah, in actual fact, there's an easier way of saying it. You could just say Marta no está.
Marta no está.
So that kind of conveys the meaning of she's not here, okay? She's not with us. Not in any deeper sense or anything like that. Marta no está.
Marta no está.
Okay, so you might hear something like, lo siento, I'm sorry. Lo siento, pero Marta no está en este momento.
Lo siento, pero no está en este momento.
Yeah. Lo siento, pero Marta no está en este momento. Or if you're phoning an office or something like that and the receptionist or the telephonist tries to get hold of a particular person and the line is busy, then they would say, está comunicando.
Está comunicando.
Okay, literally, he or she is communicating, or it's communicating if you're really referring to the line. If the person is not there, then you might want to say, when will he or she come back? And this is another future tense. We're dropping in a few futures here with a view to doing the future in the lessons coming up between lessons 71 and 80. But let's just look at the future tense of to come back. The verb to come back is?
Volver.
Volver. And when will he or she come back is ¿cuándo volverá?
¿Cuándo volverá?
Volverá.
Volverá.
¿Cuándo volverá?
¿Cuándo volverá?
Volverá a las 8.
She'll be back at 8.
Yeah. Okay. If the person's not there, you might want to leave un mensaje. Un mensaje would be?
A message?
Yeah. So how would you say, can I leave? Oh, I don't think we've done leave. To leave is dejar.
Dejar.
This is a good sentence for practicing the ch sound. We did our double R's last week. Now we need to practice our ch. ¿Puedo dejar un mensaje?
¿Puedo dejar un mensaje
Para Jorge?
para Jorge?
Can I leave a message for Jorge? ¿Puedo dejar un mensaje para Jorge?
¿Puedo dejar un mensaje para Jorge?
Okay, that's quite a tricky one. Your message might include your phone number. So how would you say my phone number is?
Mi número de teléfono es...
Yeah, in Spain, phone numbers tend to be given in threes. In other countries, they tend to be given as double numbers, for example, 21, 35, 71, and so on. But in Spain, you would be given numbers in threes. So, 6, 5, 1, 3, 3, 9, 8, 2, 1. Something like that. So, if you want to ask someone to say that you've called, then you could use this construction here. It's quite a tricky one, so listen carefully. Puede decirle, so that's, can you tell to him or to her? Puede decirle que ha llamado Mark. Puede decirle que ha llamado Mark. Try repeating that first of all.
Puede decirle que ha llamado Mark.
Before we get into breaking this phrase up completely, let's think first of all what tense that is. Ha llamado Mark, or Mark ha llamado.
The perfect.
Yeah, because it's a part of haber plus a past participle. Ha llamado.
Ha llamado.
So, can you tell to him or say to him that has called Mark? Obviously, we would say that Mark has called. You can say both in Spanish. You could say, puede decirle que Mark ha llamado, or puede decirle que ha llamado Mark. I would suggest that probably the second one is slightly more Spanish. It just sounds a little more Spanish. Puede decirle que ha llamado Mark.
Puede decirle que ha llamado Mark.
And just while we're talking about the perfect tense, to say I have dialed a wrong number, you use quite an interesting word. It's equivocarse. It means to make a mistake. Equivocarse.
Equivocarse.
Now putting this into the perfect tense. Me he equivocado.
Lo siento, me he equivocado.
Yeah, so that on its own, me he equivocado, means I have made a mistake. But when you say me he equivocado de número, then it means I've made a mistake of the number, so I've dialed the wrong number. Lo siento, me he equivocado de número.
Lo siento, me he equivocado de número.
So if the person that you're calling says, lo siento, se ha equivocado de número, what would that mean?
I'm sorry, I've dialed the wrong number.
Now, in this case, the person is saying to you, se ha equivocado, so
You've dialed the wrong
you've
number.
dialed the wrong number. And it's the polite form, the formal form. Usted se ha equivocado de número. Let's put all this to practice with a little conversation now. In this conversation, I'm going to be playing the part of Antonio's father. And Cara's going to be phoning to speak to her boyfriend. Okay, here goes.
Diga,
¿Puedo hablar con Antonio, por favor?
¿eres tú, Cara?
Sí, soy yo.
Antonio no está en este momento, lo siento.
¿Cuándo volverá?
No lo sé. ¿Ha salido con su madre?
¿Puede decirle que he llamado?
Claro que sí, hija.
Gracias, adiós.
Hasta pronto, Cara.
Hopefully, all that made sense. And we'll be going through this in more detail in this week's bonus podcast.
Coffee Break Español.
So there you have it.
the final lesson in this unit. And now we only have 10 more lessons of Coffee Break Spanish to go.
Yep, and it's maybe worth explaining a few things about that now.
Are lessons 71 to 80 going to be similar to these past few lessons?
Not quite. We're really grateful to all our listeners for all the feedback that you've provided on the blog, on the discussion board, and by email. One of the things which many of you have been asking for is listening practice.
So we're going to be doing more listening practice in the next lessons.
Exactly. In each lesson, we're going to provide a conversation which will help you practice picking out the words you recognise from some longer, faster pieces of Spanish. Then we'll cover some of the grammar points the listeners have been asking about.
Sounds good.
We'd like to stress that although Coffee Break Spanish will be ending with Unit 80, there will be more Spanish content from the Radiolingua network. Indeed, at the moment, we're putting the plans together for a new second stage podcast, which will help you improve your Spanish and continue to develop. This will have lots of coffee break elements to it, but it's time to move on.
Don't forget, though, that this week marks the end of Unit 7, and this means that the new season passes are now in the store. If you want all lesson guides and the bonus listening materials for this unit, then visit radiolingua.com/store now.
And as usual, there will be some special offers on our bundles if you want to buy more than one unit at a time.
We'll be taking a wee break over the next couple of weeks. I'm heading off to Italy on holiday.
And I'll be in France first, and then I'm going to be in the US and Canada at the beginning of August. Indeed, maybe it's worth saying that if anyone is heading to New Media Expo in Las Vegas, then podemos tomar un café.
So, we hope you all have a great summer holiday wherever you are. And remember, if you're going to be in a Spanish-speaking area, then take every opportunity to try out your Spanish.
Sí, hay que practicar tu español.
Gracias a todas.
Y hasta muy pronto. This podcast was brought to you by the Radiolingua Network. Find out more at www.radiolingua.com.